Hey everybody, I am AR Mar, and what I watched today is Book 2, Chapter 10 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, The Library. This is another one of those episodes that focuses entirely on Aang and his crew, and honestly I'm finding that I like these ones better. It's a lot easier to get invested when I'm not jumping back and forth constantly. Admittedly, I get why they do the back and forth a lot. They're trying to feed you a lot of information, keep you up on what Zuko and company are doing, and in some episodes the duality really makes for a great narrative tool. I just also really love these episodes where we get a single focused good story, And yeah, this is a great one. This episode starts with some adorable musical gophers. I freaking love the fauna of this world. Who even copy Sokka's little la-di-da. That was a great little moment. It's and was oh, this is great. And so I was la-di-da. And then, yeah, like I said, they copied him. Sokka, though, unlike Aang and the others, he's actively worried about, their end of summer deadline. And he's going, no, we shouldn't be taking these little vacations. We gotta work on this. We've only got a few short months to defeat the Fire Nation. We have to go. And I totally agree with him. This is a big, important thing. But, of course, Aang and the others ignore him and decide that their next destination will be an ice oasis. Naturally, over the last 100 years, the ice is far less impressive and has basically almost all but dried up. But there they meet this professor of anthropology from Ba Sing Se University. And that kind of surprised me, because this is the first time I can think of in this universe where we have actually met someone formally educated at a university. Most of the education we've seen before now in flashbacks and whatnot has been referencing private tutors, stuff like that. It's been very medieval so far. So to have an actual an acknowledgement of a university was kind of interesting. Of course, he immediately starts doing he immediately starts getting into Aang and violates what I was told was one of the first rules when I took an anthropology class. Don't freak out your subjects. It kind of tends to lend a little bias to the data. So he's studying Aang, he's using calipers on his head and asking invasive questions and just jumping right into it. And I get his he's excited to find this knowledge that we thought was lost, but at the same time it's dude, back up. Let him breathe a little. You're freaking him out. Oy. But yeah, we find out that the anthropologist guy is, he's looking for lost settlements, lost, ancient temples, stuff like that. So he's more an archaeologist than an anthropologist, really, but, he's sort of, I guess you could say he's looking for lost civilizations, but still, he feels a lot more like an archaeologist in this part. And while he's found, a good number so far, but he hasn't found his true goal. Wan Shi Tong's library. It's apparently a legendary library that was created by a spirit and is staffed by animal helpers. These fox spirits that gather books from all over the world and store them there for humans to read so that they might better themselves. Sokka, of course, is interested in this because he wants possible intel on the Fire Nation. But yeah, that doesn't work out for him later. Though in the present, the anthropologist's face just lights up when he sees Appa. It's I love this guy because he is like me. He just loves seeing these different animals and he loves learning new things about this world, even though he lives in it. And yeah, he actually tries to ask Appa some questions, and then he goes, "Oh, I wish I could speak your language." I know what you mean, man. I wish I could speak animal. Dang, that would be fun. Toph wins best line of this episode, hands down, because as they're riding on Appa trying to search for the library from the air, she just randomly goes, "There it is!" That's what it'll sound like when one of you spots it. And then waves her hand in front of her face, and I love her sense of humor about being blind. She's just yeah, I'm blind. I know it. It's kind of fun. She's just having fun with it, and it's a great little moment, So, eventually they find this, like, small spire, well, relatively small spire sticking out of the sand. Katara declares that it can't be the right place because it's not big enough. It's just this tiny little thing, right? And the whole library is supposed to be massive. But she doesn't realize, and what they figure out in short order is that the entire building is buried under the shifting sands, which happens a lot in the desert, from what I understand. I mean, a lot of the Egyptian tombs that we've found in the past, we had to kind of dig them out of the sand first to check them out, and who knows, there might still be more buried under the sands out there. It's kind of exciting, actually. But yeah, they're clued into this when one of the fox helpers passes by carrying a scroll in its mouth and climbs the spire and enters that way. And I just love the anthropologist's attitude here when they realize that the library has been buried. He's like, "The library is buried! My life's ambition is full of sand! Well, time to start digging!" Like, he just has this whole, like, awesome can-do attitude. He's not gonna be defeated by his life's ambition being buried under the sand. He's just like, nope. If it is buried, I'm going to dig, and I'm going to get in there. Good on you, man. And, like, everyone's like, okay, let's go inside. Toph's just kind of like, you know what, I'll hang out here. And, Katara's like, why? Don't you want to see the library? All those books? And, again, Toph is just killing it this episode. I've held books before, and I gotta tell you, they don't exactly do it for me. And that is a great line. Like, and you see, like, Katara is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot you were blind." And, like, Toph's like, "That's no big deal." And, yeah, of course, like, Toph is instrumental here because she's the one who tells them the inside is clear. Like, it has not filled in with sand like most buildings would have, being buried like that. So, they're able to enter and take a look around. And again, I feel like the anthropologist is like my spirit human or something. Because as they're entering, he geeks out over the architecture of the building, the spires, the motifs, the buttresses, and of course, being young boys, Sokka and Aang laugh at the word buttress. But, okay, anyway. And, like, almost right away, they meet the spirit of the library, and he's really a lot less eager to accept visitors than the legend suggested. And because apparently he's a bit miffed that humans keep coming to learn things only so that they can have an easier time killing other humans. And he's like, no, I want you to improve yourselves. I want you to seek knowledge for knowledge's sake. Sokka tries to lie about, like, why they're there, claiming they're just there for knowledge's sake. And the spirit gives him a great, like, reply. Just goes, like, if you're going to lie to an all-knowing being, at least put some effort into it. I love the spirit's sense of humor. He also ends up calling Sokka stupid later, and, like, Sokka, of course, thinks he's gotten one up on the spirit, but really the spirit's just kind of giving them a chance. Like, he's basically going, like, okay, you guys are, like, emphatically claiming that you just want to learn some stuff here. I'm going to let you look around. Basically give you some rope to hang yourself with is what the spirit is doing. And, everyone else just sort of, like, checks out, like, oh, check out this cool knowledge. Like, look at this thing. Oh, look here. And, like, Katara's like, hey, Aang, in a previous life you were left-handed. And he's like, oh, cool. Of course, Sokka is, like, shoving books and stuff into his satchel left and right, being like, ooh, this might help me with the Fire Nation. Ooh, this might help me. And, basically keeping with his original intent and not, like, learning from the spirit's chance to be, like, to do what he was supposed to, what he said he would. Of course, he gets a bit frustrated. He finds a burnt scroll referencing the Fire Nation's darkest day, but the Fire Nation wing has been destroyed by firebenders. But one of the little fox librarians to the rescue, it is definitely, like, it's just trying to help. It's like a little, it's just being super helpful, going, like, this way, even though, like, I'm not sure it even realizes that it is, like, violating the directive of the library spirit. It's just kind of going, like, humans need help finding knowledge? I'm here to help. That's what I exist for. And I love that they picked foxes for this. I mean, they're clever little beasties in the real world, so it was great to see them being used as librarians here. And it leads them to this just amazing planetarium. Like, ooh, it is beautiful, and it's all mechanical, and just, like, yeah, they take the date from the scroll that Sokka found, and find out that the darkest day of the Fire Nation was literally its darkest day, a solar eclipse that robbed the firebenders of their power. And so, he's kind of like, well, we have to find out when the next solar eclipse will be so that we can use it against the Fire Nation. And this is, of course, when Wan Shi-tong, appears and goes, I knew it. I knew you were lying. I gave you a chance, and you still, did not get the point. All you want to do is get a one-up on someone else and destroy them. And I told you, I will not stand for that. So he starts sinking the library and changes into this form that looks less like the owl he's been this entire time and more like a feathered dragon. He chases them down as they're trying to escape, and he wants to kill them. Toph, as this thing starts sinking, she uses her incredible strength and earthbending power to, try and stop it from sinking, or at least slow it down so the others can get out alive. And Sokka, he makes Aang's, return to and stay in the planetarium chamber to try and figure out when the next solar eclipse will be while Katara tries to get out. Admittedly, thanks to Aang's glider, after they find the information, Sokka and him catch up with Katara pretty easily. But then, they notice the professor has lagged behind, and as they're escaping, they kind of go, it's like, Professor, come on, we have to get out of here. You'll die if you stay here. And I kind of like how he just kind of looks at them and goes, no, there's too much knowledge here. I can't abandon it. If I have to spend all of eternity here, then I can think of no better place. He's basically saying that now that he's achieved his life's ambition, now that he's found this thing he was searching for all this time, he wouldn't mind if this was his eternal resting place. I kind of hope that after the thing, after the whole place sinks, that Wan Shi-tong sort of just gets buddy with him, because admittedly he's he's the only one who's completely honest about why he was there. Well, okay, Aang and Katara were just kind of all along for the ride, but Sokka was completely just, dishonest about it. Now, while this has been happening, while the place has been sinking, sandbenders or sand bandits, it's hard to hear what they exactly said, but they're basically earthbenders who work with sand, came around and kidnapped Appa. And what we found out earlier about Toph is that she can't see as well through the sand. It's fuzzy to her because it's constantly shifting, which I thought was really cool that they bothered to put that detail in, but it also means that she wasn't able to stop them from taking Appa, especially because so much of her concentration was being taken up, trying to keep the building from sinking so the others could get out safe. I can see the pain in her face as she tells Aang this, because she's devastated that she failed them, and she cares about Appa too. And even though she can't see it, I bet she knows just how upset Aang is right now. Because Appa's his buddy, and Appa's also the last thing he has from his old life. So yeah, I am really looking forward to the next episode. I'm guessing they probably get Appa back, but I want to see how it goes down, and I am excited for it. So yeah, thank you all for listening, and I'll see you next time.